what everyone really needs to understand about climate change is it's warming, it's us, we're sure it's bad, and we can fix it. My name is Kimberly Nicholas. I'm an associate professor of sustainability science here at Lund University. So now we're in the botanical garden. I want people to feel like they have a plan for how they're going to be part of the solution. I mean, both to understand how climate is woven into every part of our lives. Everything that we love, every place and every person is already affected by climate change, and many people now are feeling the urgency and the severity of the climate crisis, but haven't yet figured out how we can use our existing power and skills and communities to actually make the necessary changes. It's more of social and cultural movements now that are playing a big role, and the flight-free movement, staying on the ground, started here in Sweden, has been spreading very successfully. And I think the kind of social movements, the writing by journalists and celebrities and people making pledges, joining together in campaigns, that makes a big difference. And we also know from research that you only need about 25% of the population to follow a new behavior to create a new norm. So we're starting to approach those numbers here in Sweden, and I think that's really exciting because those kind of social tipping points where it's suddenly realized and seen as not cool and desirable to destroy the climate by flying for a weekend and a weekend away or whatever it is, that starts to change the conversation, and then people say, okay, what are the new opportunities? What can we do instead? What would meet these needs and provide the kind of experiences we're looking for in a climate-friendly way? And then people get creative, and there are lots of solutions. Of course, there's a long history of people traveling, and I think being interested in new places and getting to know new people and new cultures is something that people really enjoy and value. And I think what we're learning is that there are many ways to honor that and to continue to express that without having to fly. There's both a cultural and an economic explanation. Starting in the 1950s, air travel started making this shift from what we call aspirational luxury, where it was this very elite and dreamlike experience and sort of promoted as something very exclusive. And then 70s and 80s, with the rise of cheap commercial aviation, it became something that middle-class families aspired to. Package tourism contributed to that, sort of making this holiday away seem like an essential part of being, a good parent or really getting to relax after you've worked hard or something like this. So I think a lot of it has been artificially created demand through advertising and other cultural communications. And so that's something that's not a deep part of human nature, that's not, essential, and that I think we can find better ways of meeting needs and having adventures and travel without relying on this kind of aviation. I think a big part of it is how cheap airlines are today, and they're far too cheap. They don't pay their real climate costs, and we know from a number of studies that really encourages people to overconsume flying and to think of flying as something easy and natural and right, and in fact not consider or even not be aware of the true costs. It's easy to read the headlines about climate change and feel really overwhelmed and paralyzed, but actually there's so many seeds of the solutions we need actually all around us. So that gives me a lot of inspiration.